Every great story has a beginning, a moment where a spark ignites a fire. For ChopRobinson, that spark was a football. Long before the stadium lights and the roar of thousands of fans, he was just a kid from Gaithersburg, Maryland, with a giant dream. He fell in love with the game early on, the kind of love that honestly just gets in your bones. It wasn't just about winning or losing, it was about the challenge, the teamwork, and, that feeling of pushing yourself to be better than you were the day before. He saw heroes on the field every Sunday and knew deep down that was who he wanted to become. That passion became his fuel. This wasn't just a hobby for young Chop, it was his calling. While other kids were inside playing video games, he was in the backyard running drills and imagining himself making the game-winning play. His family saw that fire in his eyes and supported him every step of the way. They knew he had something special, not just talent, but a work ethic that was rare for someone his age. The nickname Chop came from his family when he was a baby because he was a big kid, around 14 pounds at birth. But as he grew, the name took on a new meaning. It came to represent his powerful chopping style of play on the defensive line. It became a name that opposing players would learn to fear. From those early days, the foundation was laid. It was a foundation built on pure love for the sport and an unshakable belief in himself. Every sprint, every push-up, every moment spent studying the game was another brick in that foundation. High school is where the dream starts to take shape, where potential meets hard work. At Quince Orchard High School, ChopRobinson wasn't just a player on the team, he was a force of nature. He lived in the weight room, always pushing for one more rep, one more set. He was the first one on the practice field and the last one to leave, studying his playbook under the fading light. His coaches saw a drive that was off the charts. He wasn't satisfied with just being good. He wanted to be legendary. That kind of commitment is what separates the great ones from everyone else. His dedication paid off in a big way. On Friday nights, he was unstoppable. He would burst off the line of scrimmage with an explosive first step that left offensive linemen grasping at air. Quarterbacks had nightmares about him. His combination of speed, power, and raw athleticism made him a highlight reel waiting to happen. Soon the whispers started. College scouts began flocking to his games, their notebooks filled with praise for the kid they called Chop. He was no longer a local secret, he was becoming a national sensation. The recruiting process can be overwhelming for a young athlete, with calls and letters coming in from all over the country. But Chop handled it with a quiet confidence. He was ranked as a 5-star recruit, one of the highest honors a high school player can receive. He committed to the University of Maryland at first, wanting to represent his home state, but life has a funny way of changing your path. He eventually found his way to Penn State, a place known for its tough, hard-nosed football. Stepping onto the field at Penn State's Beaver Stadium is a whole different ballgame. You're surrounded by over 100,000 screaming fans, playing against the best college athletes in the country. This is where you find out what you're really made of. For ChopRobinson, this was the challenge he had been waiting for. He embraced the Happy Valley culture, known for its blue-collar work ethic. He hit the training program hard, working with Penn State's elite coaches to refine his technique. They helped him turn his raw power into a surgical tool, making him an even more dangerous pass rusher. His time as a Nittany Lion was all about growth. He learned to study film like a pro, breaking down his opponent's weaknesses and finding new ways to attack. He faced bigger, stronger offensive linemen than he ever had before, and each game was a test of his skill and his will. There were moments of frustration, plays where he was blocked, and games where things didn't go his way, but he never let it defeat him. Instead, he used every single one of those moments as a lesson, a piece of information to make him better for the next snap, the next game. And then came the breakout moments. There were games where he completely took over, where his presence was felt on every single play. You'd see him explode off the edge for a critical sack, forcing a fumble that changed the momentum of the entire game. Fans would leap to their feet, chanting his name. These were the moments that put him on the map for NFL scouts. They saw not just a gifted athlete, but a true game changer, a player who could single-handedly disrupt an entire offense. He was proving he belonged among the elite. His performance at Penn State was a masterclass in development. He went from a talented freshman to one of the most feared defensive ends in all of college football. He earned all Big Ten honors and the respect of his teammates and coaches, who voted him team MVP. Every hero's journey includes a moment of adversity, a test that threatens to derail the dream. For Chop, that test came in the form of injuries. In the world of football, your body is your greatest tool, and when it lets you down, it can be mentally and emotionally crushing. He had to deal with nagging issues that kept him off the field at times, forcing him to watch from the sidelines as his teammates battled without him. For a player who lives and breathes the game, there is no greater frustration. It would have been easy to get discouraged, to let doubt creep in. But Chop Robinson is not built that way. His determination is his superpower. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he attacked his rehabilitation with the same intensity he brought to the football field. He spent countless hours with trainers and physical therapists, pushing his body to heal, to get stronger than it was before. He learned to listen to his body and became even more dedicated to his preparation, focusing on stretching and recovery to prevent future setbacks. This period of struggle didn't break him. It forged him into a smarter, more resilient athlete. It taught him the value of patience and perseverance. This experience gave him a new perspective. It reminded him that nothing is guaranteed and that every single snap is a gift. He returned to the field with a renewed sense of purpose and a fire that burned brighter than ever. He was hungrier, more focused, and played with a visible passion that inspired everyone around him. He knew what it was like to have the game taken away from him, and he was determined to make every moment count. That kind of mindset is what separates the good from the truly great. He turned his setback into a major comeback. Facing these obstacles made him more than just a great football player, it made him a leader. He could relate to teammates going through their own struggles and offer them encouragement and advice. The NFL Draft is the culmination of a lifetime of work. It's the night where dreams either take flight or fall to the ground. For Chop Robinson, draft night in April 2024 was everything he had ever worked for. After showcasing his incredible athleticism at the NFL Combine, running a blazing 4.48-second 40-yard dash, he had proven to every team that he was an elite physical specimen. He sat with his family, the people who had been with him since the beginning, waiting for a phone call that would change his life forever. The anticipation, the nerves, the excitement, it was all part of the journey. Then, the moment came. With the 21st pick in the first round of the NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins selected Chop Robinson. Hearing his name called by the commissioner was a surreal experience. All the early mornings, the grueling practices, the painful injuries, and the moments of doubt, it all led to this. The joy on his face told the whole story. It was a victory not just for him but for his family, his coaches, and every single person who believed in him along the way. He was officially a professional football player, a dream he'd held since he was a small kid. Now, a new chapter begins in Miami. But for Chop, the mindset remains the same. Being drafted isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of a whole new mountain to climb. He knows that the NFL is a league of men, and he has to prove himself all over again. He is ready to bring his relentless work ethic and explosive playmaking ability to the Dolphins' defense. His goal isn't just to be on the team, it's to be a dominant force, a player that opposing offenses have to game plan for every single week. He wants to be a cornerstone of the franchise. Looking to the future, Chop Robinson's dreams are bigger than ever. He wants to win Super Bowls, become a Pro Bowler, and one day be considered for the Hall of Fame. But more than that, he wants to be an inspiration. He wants to show kids everywhere that it doesn't matter where you come from. If you have a dream and are willing to work tirelessly for it, anything is possible. Chop's journey is a hero's journey, from a kid with a powerful nickname to a high school star, a college legend, and now, an NFL first-round pick. He is about to take over football and we all get a front row seat.